Yes, the Garfield Show, one of the best classics from Cartoon Network. Now, this show, it was really good when I was watching it as a child.
Yes, but a lot of people complain about it mainly because of the many errors and mistakes it has.
Despite that, I mean, the show itself did prove a lot, especially having its own movies here and there. I do prefer this show over like the live action movies, in my opinion.
No one to blame you.
I guess, but it's all thanks to the live action movie is how I got introduced to Garfield.
I mean, yeah, of course, learning that it used to have its own show back in the 80s and everything, but yeah. With this show in particular, yeah, it was especially the theme song that I liked about it.
Yeah, with all the jazzy music and all that, it was pretty dope.
Yeah. The good times. Just watching this from Cartoon Network and Boomerang, like, you guys?
It was made in Cartoon Network.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like I do remember watching some episodes here and there, but I kind of mostly prefer the animated movies.
And if we go to that, hold on. I'm just gonna double check here. Are you talking about like the superhero one?
Well, not just the superhero. Yeah, like there was Garfield's Pet Force, Garfield Gets Real, and Garfield's Fun Fest. Yeah.
Fun Fest was my favorite Garfield movies. Yeah. But yeah, Fun Fest was like my favorite one, especially the plot twist towards the end of the movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not gonna explain it yet, but I will get there eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, Garfield's Pet Force. I didn't watch it, but I did see some clips here and there. I thought it was really genius of them making themselves their own heroes, like, you know, along with, you know, Garfield and like, what was the superhero name?
What?
I forgot what he's called, but
Yeah, it's Garzuka.
Mm-hmm. You know, I just like that. Now, with the certain episodes, do you remember certain episodes from the show?
There's one where Garfield had a time stopping device and eventually messed it up and got himself into a dimension where the pets are the owners and the humans are the pets.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Let's see here. I do remember like some of the episodes with John's nieces. You remember them?
I didn't know he had nieces.
Yeah, like they're two twins, and they usually bother Garfield.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a real hassle with them. But of course, there was the first episode called The Pasta Wars. You ever watch it?
No.
What's that about?
So basically, Earth is invaded by aliens that look like, you know, Garfield's favorite meal, lasagna. That's why it's called Pasta Wars.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty intense. And
Okay, I went to Beyond the Voice Actors. I just found the twins, Drusilla and Minerva.
Yep.
And how come they're all redhead? Does that mean John's sister is also a redhead?
Probably brother or sister. We can't assume yet. But yeah, this show also shocked me. Towards like one of the specials revealing that Odie was not originally John's, you know, dog.
No.
Yeah. And there was like this special where it was showing the origins of like how Odie became like John's pet, and like Odie was originally owned by this other guy named, what was it? If I go back here, okay, yeah. No, that was not the episode. I'm just trying to look for it here. Going back to the owner, because I believe, yeah, it was Layman. Oh yeah, that was it. And revealing that he had to stay in this one, you know, area to like protect, you know, many of the people, because there's this like Sasquatch kind of like monster that was like roaming around, and that's why he wanted to like do studies. But towards like the special, Odie, his original owner wanted to like keep him, but learning that Odie was like so used to Garfield and John that his original owner like wanted him to like stay with them.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, the monster, like the Sasquatch kind of thing, was called the Zabada.
Zabada.
Yeah. And if I go over here, Zabu. Okay, yeah. go back here, and I'll just show you guys this of how it looked like. Alright, here you go.
Oh, yeah, I definitely don't remember much.
Oh, it's alright though. But there were some good memories about that special. You ever watched the Halloween episode where it's called Freaky Monday?
What's that about?
So yeah, Garfield goes trick-or-treat disguised as a scary Catzilla, basically. But there is a real Catzilla just escaped from the zoo.
I feel like I have.
Yeah. Let's see here. What are good ones? So I do remember this one episode where Normo, was like trying to pretend to be a stray cat and trying to be cute, like to John, and he basically became the new cat of the house to like trick John and everybody else.
Oh, gosh dang it! There's one where they're on a picnic and it was Garfield, I think Odie, John, and Liz. And I think it was a wolf or something that ate the food, but John blamed it on Garfield. He think he did it, but it was a baby wolf and stuck it home with him, and then the father or mother came along and started attacking him.
Another episode I remember was Down on the Farm. Basically, John and Garfield visit John's brother, Doc Boy, a farmer from the countryside. Now, that was something. Yeah, learning that his brother is a farmer. Let's see. What other good ones that I remember? I think I remember this episode where Garfield had like multiple clones.
Ooh, whoa.
If I go back here. Oh, wait, yeah. It was called Me, Garfield, and I.
Huh.
Wow, that was something.
Remember that big fat dude?
Big fat dude, can you specify more?
He is a show host and he eats a lot.
I think I know who you might be talking about. I just have to do more of it. Oh, him! Yeah. Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And there's this one episode where he was having a bad attitude, and they're trying to figure out what's bothering him. Okay, found him. Eddie Gourmand.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Garfield was tasked to go inside his mind and go to his past to find out why he had a bad temper. So apparently, because he always had supper nonstop, and I guess his mom just didn't want to do anymore, and he's like, "You don't love me," and stuff. So,
you know who Eddie kind of reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of that character from TMNT 2012. What was it?
Are you talking about Pizza Face?
What was it?
Remember Vito Capelletti?
Vito. Oh wait. If I do remember, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen. Wait, yeah, the main guy, yeah, who would serve like the lasagna, pizza, everything. Yeah. I gotta say, he was really cool. Like, even like having strict rules with Garfield, especially.
Like what?
Like, I remember this one episode where Garfield ordered a lot of lasagna, and he had to bring him a lot, and then Vito had to cut him off.
It's like alcohol instead of as with lasagna.
I mean, yeah, and plus, he had to cut him off because some of the times he wouldn't be being paying like Vito.
Also, is Fresh gone?
I'm right here.
Oh, okay, never mind. Let's see. Remember that one guy? I think his name is Dr. Whippy. I think he showed up because John wanted to take cover there for good behavior, but that guy was pretty shady.
Dr. Whippy. Oh yeah, I do remember him. Yeah. Yeah. I think I do remember this one episode. Hold on. Let me just confirm if it was from the show.
And there's also one where John was hypnotized, and every time Odie barked, he'd either go back to sleep or wake up.
Wait, God. There was also the other Halloween episodes I remember, like Witch and the Haunted House.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
And yeah, and the Witch it actually featured real witches.
Of course.
Yeah, that was
Ooh, witch and woman. There's this one where Garfield and John thought they won the lottery, and they were planning on going to the place to win the lottery, but apparently there's like sauce on the thing, and they didn't win the lottery. And it turns out it was just some random old lady.
You ever watched the Thanksgiving episode? It was called Turkey Trouble.
I have not. What's that one about?
So when John wins a live turkey, he can't bring himself to eating it.
And why is that?
I mean, it's a live turkey, you know. Of course, it's gonna be wild, and I think he had like mixed emotions about like eating a live animal. But then again, if it's cooked, then it's reasonable. I think.
Well, of course you can't eat a live turkey. You have to cook it first. Well, kill it.
No, I know that, but I don't think John wants to like bring himself to that, like, you know, cooking him and everything, since it's alive. Basically. What else was there?
And the reason why people would say it's like a lot of errors and stuff, like there's this one episode where the cable went out, and if you when Garfield went to get John, it showed like a chat screening thing. It showed John with a turkey or some kind of chicken that was making squeaking noise, and it just went back to normal.
I also remember this episode called The Lion Queen Zoo Melody.
And what's that about?
Well, hence the name. Like, it was a zoo episode. It had like a lot of animals, and yeah, there was just some songs here and there, and it was like awesome.
But it was.
Let's see here. There was this episode called Pet Matchers. Basically, a TV show tests if pets and owners are matched, and they're just seeing how John and Garfield are like compatible for each other.
Well, geez, that would have been testy.
I was going to say that would be intense.
And of course, there was also this other episode called Lucky Charm. Basically, Odie finds a pot of gold at the bottom of a rainbow, and a leprechaun will grant Garfield's wishes. I don't know why he would grant them, but sure, why not? Because Garfield's is gonna, like, you know, wish for all the lasagnas in the world.
Well, yeah, knowing Garfield, he would.
Or probably, for his sake, cancel Mondays.
Ah, of course.
The time twist.
What's that one?
Garfield actually climbs into outer space traveler's like car, basically, which sends him to a parallel, you know, universe, basically.
And what kind of universe was that?
Well, if I go back here, because yeah, it's been a while since I watched this one. Okay, yeah, go back here. Universe, yeah. Okay. Oh, this is the one. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, that's the name. Everything was parallel. It kind of reminds me of that Johnny Test episode. Yeah. Let's see here. What other ones do I remember? You remember when they all became like scouts?
And how did that go?
It went a little bit good and bad. I remember, yeah, it was Odie, Garfield trying to be scouts along with the others, and it didn't really turn out good. And like, it was a little bit good and bad at the same time.
Oof, I bet it was.
You remember the Silent Jack episode where there's supposed to be some kind of like urban legend, but it was actually and Garfield and the others think that John is the guy, but he actually had like some kind of like appointment to see the dentist about something.
Yeah, I do remember that. Let's see here. Oh, there's also the dog catcher. Basically, Pup in the Pound. Odie is found by the dog catcher with no license on his collar, and he's basically taken to the pound. So this is, you know, Garfield has to save him, of course.
Yep.
And yeah, there's even this episode called Odie in Love, where Odie falls in love with a bush, and Garfield becomes jealous. A frickin'... Wait, no.
What?
Yeah. No, no, okay.
Yeah, why would Garfield be jealous of Odie? Like, he barely cares about Odie anyway.
Yeah.
And all for Bush, too.
Actually, no. It got it wrong because I actually went to the other website. It said brush.
Oh, Brush. Okay.
I was about to say bush. I was like, yeah, brush. I mean, if Garfield... Wait, that's what it's about because cats get, like, their hairs, like, done by brushes if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, grooming, basically. That's why he was jealous. You ever watched the pet show?
Which one's that?
Garfield tries to win a pet show with lasagna as the prize. Classic Garfield.
Of course, lasagna will be the prize. I'm not gonna be interested in the thing. The prize is lasagna. Alright, I'm in. I mean, god dang. I mean, I love lasagna, but I won't be obsessed with it to win it for a prize.
You remember Garfield's teddy bear Pookie?
Yeah.
Well, who doesn't? Of course, I knew about it ever since I watched the live-action movie.
So basically, there was this episode where Normal basically took Pookie from Garfield, and he has to be nice to him to get it back.
And why did he even take that in the first place?
I think he was trying to get some nice stuff from Garfield, and because Garfield's never nice to him, so he wants him to do nice things to get it back.
Oh yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Remember the pizza episode?
Which one?
Oh yeah, the perfect pizza, like from this dude named like Mama Meanie.
Oh, that one, yes. I do remember that one. Yeah, Vito was doing good in the episode. Well, except with him and Garfield, but it was understandable. Well, goddamn, like Vito's like advertisement for his pizza shop. I can't blame, like, especially looking at his pizza. Speaking of pizza, there was also the Greek pizza race.
Yeah, like again, it was just kind of like here and there with the.
So basically, John can't make dinner for Garfield as he has a date for with Liz, but he doesn't have enough money to get Garfield his usual truckload of takeout food. He tells Garfield that he can only order one meal. Garfield's devastated. He settles on a delicious pizza from Vito's, but as John is ordering, Garfield, of course, is very mischievous. It has a mischievous idea, basically.
Pizza, 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 pizza.
Wait, I think there was an episode with this one. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where was that? Oh yeah, that was an original episode. Never mind. I was about to say, I remember this episode when Garfield had a birthday, but that was from the OG show.
Alright.
Do you remember the little mouse, Squeak?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. You remember any episodes with him?
Well, there's one where he had his whole a mouse family and friends come over to his house.
I also remember this episode called Mastermind, where Garfield receives a strange helmet that enables him to read alien thoughts.
Ooh, hey.
And of course, there was also the episode The Amazing Flying Dog. Odie dreams of being a superhero, but Garfield mocks him. But of course, this him's trying to be a superhero. There was also Iceman. By accident, Garfield defrosts a caveman found in a block of ice.
Garfield, when will you ever learn?
And that's about it, like the episodes and specials from my side. Now, if we go to here, hold on, we go here. Okay, I think I found it. I think so. Okay, yeah. So first, would you like to talk about Garfield's pet force?
Going with number 3 now. All right. I mean, since it is kind of like the best one for me, but okay, it's just this basic story about like certain characters coming into the real world, kind of like what happened in freaking Garfield Gets Rio. Now that I think about it, but yeah, I still did enjoy it all the same. Where it's just this so-called supervillain named Vetvix plans to just take over the world and has this freaking device that can just switch. Like what was it called again? Like it combines things and or people. It was weird for me. And so, in order to stop her, Garzuka, yeah, the main hero of the comic book that Normal reads, it gives these. It's offered like give this serum, yes, the super serum for Arlene, Normal, and Odie in order for them to gain superpowers in order to save the day and stuff.
But for your overall score for like that the awesome movie, what would you give it?
Yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
I haven't seen a movie in a long time, but it's still a pretty good movie to me. I'll give it a 9.
Yeah. Now with Garfield's Fun Fest, like this was like my favorite Garfield movie that was animated in my opinion, because this is the one I watched the most.
Yeah, like same me as a kid, because I mean, I don't know what was the last time I saw Get Real, but this was like my most favorite one out of all of them.
Yeah. It talks about how Garfield's been writing his book about the origins of Freddy Frog and just, becoming a humor and everything else. And it believes, like, yeah, they have it, like, opens up, like, this, like, kind of, like, talent show kind of thing, as I remember. And
yeah, it was. And he just wanted to be funny, and also there's this guy named Ramon,
yeah.
I know.
Ramon, yeah.
But the plot was that Bliss mentioned earlier. Ramon was actually fake. It was normal.
Yep. I was like, Jesus, all of this to get all your fame, especially taking Garfield's girl. Come on, man.
I mean, well, it kind of makes sense because, of course, they were just bickering in the car on the way to,
I know. It kind of reminds me of the same situation with Scrappy Doo from the Scooby-Doo live-action movie.
Oh,
where he's in
Christ.
disguise. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. In a way, Normal could be the Garfield version of Scrappy.
In a way, he is, yeah. And then let's talk about the other movie.
Right, Get Real.
To explain anybody?
Well, you can, because like I said, I don't know when's the last time I saw that.
I don't think there's nothing else. It's just a basic story of just Garfield getting sick of being in a comic world, and he experiences what it's like to be in the real world, and there he is. But his luck runs out when he and Odie can't really escape from the real world, and so it's up to like everybody else to try and save them.
Interesting. But, however, I just added Get Real on my new Amazon cart, and or next time my mom pays for it, there you go.
And yeah, that was about it from the movies and the anime show. Like, yeah, it was top notch. Now to the cast.
Wait, did you say anime?
No, I said animated.
For a minute, like almost. Do it again.
Okay, is it on?
Yeah, it's on. Like if you hear that, you hear beep or like doo 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 doo. Like okay.
So basically, yeah. Okay, before we get into the cast, of course, yeah, Chris Pratt was cast as Garfield for next year's Garfield movie in 2024. Okay, you guys have any thoughts towards like his soon to be performance as Garfield? Like, do you think it was a good cast choicing?
Well, I don't know, because we never heard him voice as Mario. We don't even know how he'll sound like.
Man, as Mario, he did really good. But for me, in my opinion, I think for Garfield, I think he could pull it off.
Well, we'll see.
But what's more shocking about this movie is that Samuel L. Jackson is playing Garfield's father.
Yeah, and never even mentioned his father one time in the franchise of Garfield.
Well, yeah, kudos to Chris Pratt. First he has Mario, then Garfield. Who else he's gonna get?
Well, we may never know.
Okay. Alright, now to the cast. Alright, so yes, first off, Garfield, being voiced by voice legend and god, Frank Welker.
Yeah, as a kid, I would never have known that Frank Welker, aka Fred Jones, was Mario. And I'm Mother.
Wow.
That's
Hey, you were talking about Mario earlier. You threw me off.
What else is new?
That's yours.
Anyway, so it was not until I was growing up that I found out that Frank Welker also voiced Garfield, and besides Fred Jones.
But I gotta say, his performance as Garfield, it was like really good. It reminded me of Lorenzo Music's like version from the OG show.
Yeah, exactly. Like he really does capture just like the legacy. Because I say that mostly because, well, I see Garfield as, yeah, as one of Frank Welker's top voice roles. It's like the Mount Rushmore of his voices. Like there's
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Fred Jones, Scooby-Doo, Garfield, and Megatron.
Well, if you allowed me to like finish, like for Fred and Scooby to share like a spot, like send them the same spot, and then Garfield, and then Curious George, and then Dr. Claw. Or
Yeah,
Megatron.
that's how it would go. Yeah. No offense to Bill Murray, like yes, he did really good, but Frank Welker will always be top one for Garfield for me.
True. And unlike in the original series, which doesn't have his mouth moving, it's only in his thoughts. And this one, his mouth is actually moving.
Well, yeah, if anybody's watched the show, but yeah, towards everything, you know, especially seeing the behind the scenes, like last year, like how he put out the voice and everything, it was really good. I give him always infinity.
Of course. And also, I don't remember because it's been a while since I've seen it. Does John understand Garfield when he's talking?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but in the live action movie, like Garfield did say, like, I know you can't hear me, but blah blah or whatever it is he said, and it's complicated. But I'm glad to know that you reminded me.
Yeah, like
I'm glad that in this version that Garfield can actually talk to John.
And next up is Odie, voiced by Greg Berger.
Who is best known for as 80s Grimlock from the original Transformers.
Before we mention that, yeah, of course, he got to reprise his Odie because he did play him in the OG Garfield show.
Oh, I
Yeah.
actually did not know that.
And you know, he's like one of the surprising actors to do like animal noises.
That's pretty dope. And he did really good as Odie.
Other than Transformers Z1, of course, he was also in the 1994 Spider-Man show where he played both Kraven and Mysterio.
Oh yeah, and also in like X-Men, he was Beast.
Yes. But yeah, I found him as a cool. Oh wait, no, he was also in Scooby-Doo: Master of the Blue Falcon. Christian, remember that hippie kind of guy with the blonde hair?
That one that reminds me of Shaggy. That's also Greg Sipes.
Yeah, that was Greg Berger voicing Hank.
Wow, I would not know that was Greg Berger. I would buy it if it was Greg Sipes.
But of course, other than that, he also got to, the chance of being one of the voices of Eeyore.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I say, he's a terrific actor, you know, especially doing like this kind of like animal noises with Odie, you know. I give him infinity. He's just a great actor.
Me too. And it was because of him. Of course, I got introduced to Grimlock through animated first. Then it was because of the Transformers movie. I got introduced to Greg Berger in that one, and he is excellent as Grimlock. My top ones are Greg Berger and Dave K.
Oh yeah, and think about it. You have both Megatron and Grimlock in the show.
Yeah, you got that point.
Yeah. Next up, we got John, voiced by Wally Wingert. This was my introduction to Wally.
Me too. And then it was Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Monsters.
For me, it was Sonic Colors.
Cool. But yeah, of course, playing Cubot. Also got introduced to him as one of the voices of Riddler. Yeah. But I gotta say, his performance as John, it was really nice, especially the voice. I like it.
Yeah, he's like one of those how do you do, neighbor kind of voices.
Exactly. Kind of like Ned Flanders when you said that, but John is more reasonable.
Yeah, and doesn't have that Howdy, neighbor. It doesn't have that certain voice to it.
Okay, like that's not the point.
That's yeah. But
Anyway, but yeah, of course, like any other version of John, like in the comics, original show, and the movie, of course, he's in love with Liz, of course. And I remember when I mentioned about the hypnosis episode that because he fell asleep while she was talking to him, she left him.
Yeah, poor John. But this has to be my top John because of Wally Winger. I give him infinity.
Yeah, in the future, we should do an ornamental of John.
John Cena.
Do, 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 do.
He didn't specify which John.
His name is John Arbuckle. And just see some random guy in long sleeve buttoned up shirt and dress pants. Anyway, alright, next up, Jason Marsden as Normal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, one of the surprising ones from Jason, like, you know, especially his performance, he kind of gave me a little bit of Chester and Danger Jug vibes.
Really?
Yeah, because of the personality. But yeah, he's just very annoying to Garfield, especially trying to get his ways, because, of course, being a cute kitty cat and all, but I don't mind it. Like, I was just really astounded by Jason's, like, performance.
Yeah. And the fact that he has eyelashes, it gives me a whole SpongeBob vibe, because, you know, he's ignoring Garfield. Garfield is basically Squidward, and Normal is basically SpongeBob at this point.
And you know what's so funny? Other than playing Normal, he also played Vito.
Huh. Wow, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, it's really great. But for his performance, I give him a infinity. It was just outstanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though I don't really like Normal in this version because he's a lot more annoying than one in live action, which I don't mind. But for Jason, infinity. Alright, next up is Garfield's girlfriend, Irene. Voiced by Audrey. How do you say her last name?
Well, it is.
Vasilevsky?
Well, yeah. This was my introduction to her because I know she was also in Breadwinners, The Loud House, of course, Minecraft Story Mode, and what was
My Life as a Teenage Robot, where she was Tuck.
Yes.
Oh. I was not expecting. But yeah, this was my only introduction to her as well. So yeah, she's a pretty interesting voice actress. So what are your thoughts on this version of Arlene?
Yeah, I do like it. I do prefer this over the live action one, no offense. But yeah.
Well, what's cool about that version is she's voiced by
Deborah Messing.
Thank you, Deborah Messing, who I got used to. Well, it's been a rough one. I didn't know I got used to her in Garfield movie. Then I got used to her in Open Season. Then in live action, it was Will and Grace, which she plays Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's pretty dope. But I actually agree with you, Bliss. I actually like this one better because it's much more recognizable, and the fact that she's a pink cat, which is very unique about her. And what do you think about her personality?
Yeah, very reasonable, especially to Garfield at times. I do like it.
Alright.
I give her, yes, affinity.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
And now we have Liz Wilson. Yes, the lover to John. But yeah, other than being the lover, of course, she's also a doctor.
Well, of course I knew that from the movie. But do you know her actress, Julie Payne?
Yeah, she is the OG voice for Liz from the OG show.
I love how a couple of the actors that was in the original show got to revoice their characters in the reboot.
And in a Garfield Christmas back in 1987, she also played John's mother.
Oh!
Yeah, and she also played Liz's mother in the Garfield show. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I do like how, she's, very smart and, very caring, especially, when it comes to Garfield, being this the doctor for Garfield, telling him about his diet and everything, about lasagnas, but yeah.
Yeah, Garfield will never go on a diet, trust me.
Lasagna. But yeah, I give her also infinity. She did really good.
10 out of 10.
And now for John's nieces, both voiced by Laura Summer. Yeah, surprisingly, her actress was in Digimon and The Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I don't even know Laura Summer because this is new to me, but I have seen pictures of Atamon, who she voices in the Digimon franchise, so that's the only ones I recognize. But show me more. Well, I know you told me that the twins gave a lot of hassle towards Garfield, but is there any more about them besides that?
Well, that's about it. And they just pop out of nowhere here and there just to visit John.
Uh-huh.
Next up is Aunt Ivy, voiced by Lorraine Newman. Before I explain more about Aunt Ivy, I first got introduced to Lorraine in The Very Odd Parents.
Me too.
Yeah, The Very Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, because in The Very Odd Parents, she played Mark's mother.
Did you say Clarence?
Did you say Clarence?
No, you said Clarence.
I don't know what you heard.
Whatever.
But yeah, she voices Mark Chank's mother, and in Danny Phantom, she voices Sam's mother. Yeah. And of course, in Dorothy Knows What Oz, back in Boomerang, she voices the Wicked Witch.
And inside out, she voices Mom's Thea.
She's a very good actor. But for Aunt Ivy, yes, she is the aunt to John, and yeah, ooh, tough woman.
And how would you say that?
Well, yeah, of course, she originally from the the cartoons and the comics, but what can I tell you about her? I mean, yeah, she's a mean, rude, and bossy old woman. That's what I could tell you.
Say no more. Just really bossy, that's all I need.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see here. Who else was there? What else can I mention here? Oh, yeah. What was it, Dr. Whipple, that you mentioned earlier, Christian?
Yeah, voiced by a man named Stan Freberg.
Yeah, he was like one of the voices of Pete Puma.
Yep, and he also voiced Junior Bear and Looney Tunes as well.
But yeah, for that Doctor, I give him a 10 out of 10.
9.
And yeah, that's about it for the cast.
Yep, and the rest of the characters.
But what's shocking, because Christian, remember when you mentioned Eddie, the fat guy, earlier? He's voiced by Frank Welker, fun fact.
What? Get out of here. Holy crap.
I tell you, Frank is the god.
Of course he is. Alright.
Now to final thought. Yes, the Garfield show, it did way better than the live action movies, and that's all I have to say, because this show was really outstanding back at Cartoon Network. I give it a full 10 out of 10. It was just perfect with lasagna on a Monday.
Yeah, and I wonder if after the 2024 movie comes out, maybe they might make a show out of it.
We'll see. Because that has happened recently before, with movies having their spin-off shows. I mean, it's happening with Knuckles right now.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how that happens.
But yeah, what's your overall score?
Infinity.
Is 90.
Okay. And we're off.